What is up, my people? It is the Vibe Kage here. I just kind of clocked out of work and I'm waiting for my ride. So, yeah, my phone at 19%. So I will pause the video and then there'll be like a slight time delay. And this is a personal thank you to the people who are subscribed. I was surprised when I read 11. I didn't even think I'd get to like 3 or 4 subscribers. So thank you who subscribed. And this is a special what if. What if Deku was the daughter of All for One? And yeah. How do I want to start this? Pretty normal. After the fight with Nana Shimura and All for One, and Toshinori like loses his master and kind of goes on a vengeful hunting spree. And yeah. Shortly after that, he found out that Nana had a child and put him up for adoption. So All for One was still looking for that family, for Shigaraki and all that. Well, Tomura, and he was looking for all of Nana's descendants and everything. However, I'll say on his way to, he had finally found the right house, and the abusive father of Tomura, fuck that guy. For real. But he happened because Tomura he's only like a few years older than Izuku. So I'm gonna say like Inko's probably like in her early 20s at this moment, like 20 at the youngest and 22 at the oldest. And she bumps into All for One. And since it's like the prime Inko, she has the Tsunade measurements, if you will. Inko has Tsunade measurements, the 106 centimeters. Inko has that, and so yeah, All for One did not care anymore about finding anything of Nana Shimura's. He's just like, I found 106 reasons to kind of just start my own new life. Because he knows that there was a successor for All for One, but he's just like, don't really care. Yeah, it was a coworker. But yeah. No, but All for One, he just meets Inko and they're hitting it the fuck off. Like, really good shit. And, oh yeah, that man be pounding Inko 7 days a week for like the next couple years. And to make this slightly more Izuna, that's the name I came up with for female Izuku. So Izuna, when she's born, she is the same age as Nejire, Mirio, and Tamaki. So she's just born 2 years earlier than normal. And I'll say here's the main thing that happens with Tomura Shigaraki. He eventually, after he finds the photo of his grandma and does the scratching, and his dad beats the shit out of him, instead of awakening his quirk and was just beaten the fuck up, I'll say the neighbors heard it, called the police, and then instantly got him the fuck out of there, arresting his dad, putting him in custody, and they straight up say, no, you woman who did nothing to save your child, you lose both of them. So Shigaraki's sister is gone, and they're separated, but Shigaraki will get adopted by, not adopted, but kind of, he becomes the ward to Aizawa, because, yeah. And Aizawa is just like, okay, I did the DNA check, and then he sees the word Nana Shimura as grandmother, and Aizawa knows that was All Might's teacher. So he called All Might. He said, yo, you're not gonna fucking believe what just happened. All Might's just like, yo, Aizawa, you're not one to cuss at me, but what's wrong? He says, Nana's grandson and granddaughter found them. They're in foster care. We need you. And yeah, so that's what happens, and unfortunately, I'm still killing off Tomura's daughter because she went to a different orphanage, and Um, she died in a car crash because of villain attack. So Tomura, he finds out, he's sad, but All Might literally is gonna be the like his new father. He even says like, young man, I am so sorry for everything you have been through, but there is something like, and since he's not fought All for One, he will not have that injury on his gut. Well, not yet. And yeah, so All Might goes to Tomura and tells him, your grandmother, Nana Shimura, was my teacher. And this makes Tomura look up at him and like, you knew my grandma? And Toshin is just like, yes, she was a fine hero, young man. And this is like, I don't say All Might's guilty conscience. He straight up will raise Tomura to be his successor for All for One. One for All. Yeah, no. Deku's gonna be the successor for All for One. Sort of. Yeah. So let's go. Izuna is born and she's a girl. And she'll have the same bust as her mom when she's... Well, no, not the same. She got Hinata Shippuden... Hinata Hyuga in Naruto Shippuden's bust. So... Yeah! Slightly smaller, but... Winners in their own right. It's fucking horrible. And the description will definitely say 18, no younger. Because this is... gonna be very, very explicit to a degree. To some sort. Yeah. And Izuna's quirk is succubus. So what she does is and this works for all genders actually. Anyone who's attracted to her, she can absorb life energy from to empower herself, to heal herself. And she, And here's the thing. I'll say, and this is where things get wild, my guys. Shigaraki and All Might were Tomura. Tomura and Toshinori, yeah, that'll be easier to say. Tomura and Toshinori are just at the mall shopping together when All for One, he's just shopping with Inko, and Izuna is with Mitsuki right now because she's only like 2 and Bakugo's still not born. But yeah, well, All Might sees it, gets fucking pissed off as shit, and Tomura sees this and he's asking him, what's wrong? And I know they changed his name from Tomura. I'm just saying Tomura to keep up with non manga readers, because so All Might tells him, you need to leave now. That man over there is the one who killed your grandmother. And so yeah, Shigaraki listens, and for plot's sake, I'll say there was another hero, and it was Endeavor. And All Might says Endeavor, and like Endeavor's just like, okay. All Might sounds pissed, but I don't give a fuck right now. He straight up tells him, evacuate everyone right now. And he's seeing All Might's fist clenching so hard that his hands are like, he's bleeding now. Like the fist is so tight that his nails are digging into his palm, causing him to bleed. So that's fun. And their fight happens at this mall, and what Endeavor does is he just slowly starts going to people and telling them to evacuate. And All Might he's not even walking up to who we are known to believe as Harashi, because that's what he said his name was to Inko, is Harashi Midoriya. And this is where things get really fucked up, guys. All for One senses that something's coming his way, and when he sees it's All Might, he's just like, we need to leave now. And so he's trying to leave with Inko, and All Might's just like, oh, no, you fucking don't. And throws a smash, 50%, and he's not thinking straight right now. All Might is literally endangering so many fucking lives right now. Because he's in a blind rage right now. And how he sees it is that Inko is his victim, not a victim, his hostage, and he's going to save her. Ouch. This is gonna hurt me, guys. It really is. But we need a reason for Izuna to hate All Might, and this is where we're going. So the blast hits. All for One protects Inko, and All Might not seeing this. He's just thinking that like Inko's the one who pulled him down and shit. So, and everyone's now leaving the fucking building, and Tomura does not see All Might when he's in this mode because Endeavor's just like taking him away, and all the people are being evacuated. All Might told Endeavor to call Gran Torino and to get his old ass over here because they found the killer of his teacher. And Endeavor's just like, oh, I heard about that. Let me get the fuck out of here. You kid, come on. We're in danger. All Might's about to lose his shit. He doesn't tell this to Tomura. He's just saying, there's a really bad man, and Tomura's just saying, yeah, the one who killed my grandma. Endeavor's just like, okay, All Might told you, let's just go. Because Endeavor's never felt like this rage from All Might. And so, it's getting to him. And I'll say, All for One gets up, and he puts Inko in, like, he knocked her out with, like, one of his quirks called Hypnosis. And he just told her to stay down and be asleep for a minute. But it not working well because it's gonna come back to bite them in the ass. So All for One and All Might are just duking it out. Air cannon versus All Might's punches in a sense. And he's just like, fuck, he's not stockpiled any quirks since his fight with Nana. And I'll say All Might was more determined and trained 3 times as hard as to get a full control of One for All. So he is a lot stronger than his canon counterpart by 3 times. So, yeah. This ain't good for All for One, by the way. And so Mitsuki sees on the news that All Might's fighting a villain, and Izuna, fighting someone like a villain, but they don't say who it is. And when they point to the mall, Izuna's just like, but my mom and dad were there. Mitsuki hears this, and she's trying to call them, and there is no answer. Because, she's trying to call Hisashi. Because, let me call your father just to make sure he's, like, they're okay. But there's no answer from anything because they're fighting. And she's, like, super, super fucking worried. And I'll say they already have, I'm gonna do this. No, I'm back on my train of thought. So, All Might and All for One are still just clashing. And I'll say Inko hears the vibration, like she's feeling the vibration in her pocket. And it was enough to like disrupt her slumber. And like she gets up, sees like how many missed calls it's happening. And it's about to get really sad, guys. She answers the phone finally, and Mitsuki's talking, and it's on speakerphone right now. So Izuna's just asking his mom, Mom, are you okay? We're seeing on the news. And she's just saying, I can't find your father. And like they're just hearing shockwave after shockwave. And she's saying she's going to go look for him. And Mitsuki's saying, don't be dumb, save yourself right now. And then Inko, her only response is, how could I live with myself if I let the man I love die? So, she gone. Well, All for One is badly beaten the fuck up right now. And he's on his last legs. And All Might's just barely starting to breathe heavy. And All Might starts talking trash. And he's saying, I bet you wouldn't see me again, huh, you stupid villain? Disgust me with your mere existence. And he's pulling back his fist, and he's saying, I will end this with my last punch. So he starts radiating One for All energy in his fists. He cocks back, And instead of saying a state of smash, he says, fuck. He's not saying the United States of smash either. He just says, I just had the name for it too. It was kind of cool in my head. Oh yeah. He pulls back and he's saying, "One for all, death punch!" And he shoots out everything, and the shockwave annihilates the rest of the fucking mall. And so what Mitsuki and Izuna hear is the collapsing building and Inko screaming and then the phone dying. All for One was able to survive it because he just barely survives it. Like, he's still very fucked up. Like, he has like hella fucked up bones. His face is gone. He's lost his left arm and he has no legs. Like, one's gone from his like knee, the other one is gone from like just halfway under his thigh, like halfway through into the thigh, where his leg is also gone. And All Might's just leaving, not caring to answer any questions. And yeah, no. All for One survives, and they take him to the hospital. And I'll say Dr. Ujiko uses his Johnny Nomu to teleport All for One. And fuck, this gets really hard. They later report that there was one casualty later that night, and Izuna's been in shock ever since that. Like, she's completely like catatonic right now, not saying anything, like not speaking, no tears, just nothing. She heard her mother die, and yeah. So they're hearing on the news that there was a fight between All Might and a villain, and that the villain escaped, and that there was one fatal. Oh, there were like fuck ton of casualties, but when they put on the screen, Inko's face does show up. Mitsuki starts crying and holds Izuna, telling her she's sorry, but Izuna's just still like she knew her mom was dead, and then just seeing her mom on the TV saying, yeah, she's dead, it's still not sinking in, because she's like, no, there was All Might there. All Might was supposed to protect everyone. How could he like let this happen? How can all this happen? And I'll say there's a knock on Mitsuki's door, and it is just one of his like servants that he has, because he has a lot of deep connections. And he goes and he's saying they're here to pick up Izuna. His father's in critical condition and we need to take him. Mitsuki's saying, all right, I'll drive with you. And they're like, no, he's only asked for his daughter. And yeah, so this is the last time Mitsuki will see Izuna for like 16 years, like for a good minute. And yeah, she's gone. Like, she never sees her, and Mitsuki just has to deal with, like, she just lost pretty much her closest family friends. And yeah, so this makes her not have Bakugo at all, because she got too dumped and the husband ends up cheating with some other broad and she leaves. So Mitsuki is super fucking depressed and lives by herself. She doesn't let herself go. She's just like 4 years after her divorce and the death of Inko, she's just finally being herself and living a normal life, but she's super shut in and reclusive as fuck. So yeah, that happens. When Izuna meets Dr. Ujiko, she asks where's her father, and he points to a tank with him in very fucking critical condition, and Ujiko's just saying, don't worry, I'll make sure your father lives. It's just, yeah. So Izuna's just like more broken, and when she asks who is responsible for this, Dr. Ujiko says this was All Might's doing. and she's just like, I want to fucking kill him. She doesn't say fuck, but she's just saying, I want to kill All Might now for taking away my parents. And Dr. Ojiko is just like, what is this dark aura radiating off of this child? She's awakened her quirk right now. So yeah. And I'll say it's like 6 months before All For One wakes up. And the entire time, Izuna's just been studying and training. And yeah, like there's Kurogiri was already made, I guess, because he was there for convenience sake with the portals. So yeah, and he helps raise Izuna. And what Kurogiri is telling Izuna is that All For One saved his life, and he is a true hero. All Might is just someone who likes to showboat for his fans, and he will leave nothing but devastation in his wake. So yeah, Izuna, like, she doesn't need a reason to hate him. She just does. And it's not brainwashing. She actually starts to look at everything wrong with Euro society. And yeah. Dr. Ojiko later tells her that her quirk is called succubus, and she can seduce any gender, and yeah, she sucks out their life force, and the more they're attracted to her, the more life energy they can give her. And she does get stronger. For every person she eats, in a sense, their strength is added to hers. But if they had a quirk, she does not get that quirk. And so when All For One finally wakes up, and and like half of his face, just half, like he still has one eye to see Izuna, and he's so sorry about what had happened. Izuna just says, "Don't worry, Dad. I'll grow up and I'll kill All Might to avenge Mom and you." And All For One is just like, if you are sure about this, then I will help you and give you more power. And she's just like, good. I'm going to fucking need it. And yeah, this is her grown up. And in case you're wondering what's with the spider tattoo on her arm, it's like her villain name is called Black Widow, because she mostly killed men to steal like their life force, and like, though she was young when she started killing, she was like 12. She killed like several pro heroes just for like her dad to steal their quirk and for her to steal their life energy and get stronger. The reason why she has the Black Widow spider too is because she will also have 8 other quirks besides succubus. And I'll reveal 4 of them in this video, and if y'all want to comment on 2 other quirks that you guys want to give this femme fatale, I'm more than gamed to like add him. But for right now, she is still at succubus until she's at 6 years old, and that's when she gains the quirk telekinesis. And he says it's a lot stronger than what your mother would have. And then, like, she breaks down crying, saying she loves the power because through this she can always honor her mom. So yeah, this is gonna be sad and dark and very fucked up and very fucking explicit. Once again, if you are not 18 and did not read the description, please click off, because yeah, this is gonna get very fucked up and very dark. And very raunchy sometimes, because succubus. Yeah. Anyway, so, and she's really good at, like, using telekinesis. Like, she's on par with Fubaki from One Punch Man at the age of 6. When she gets older, to, like, her canon story, her telekinesis is, like, a suppressed Tsubaki. You know... Was it Tsubaki? Well, yeah, I know who I mean. Her psychic powers are strong as fuck. Her second quirk given to her, and her third physical quirk, was super regeneration, because All For One cannot stand his daughter getting hurt like how he did. Oof, 15%. I'm gonna pause this soon and come back to this here in a bit. I'm gonna just continue just a little bit longer, because it's 2 quirks. Okay, so, and she's like, she likes this too, and she's been trained with every single form of martial arts and weapons. Like, she brings the term femme fatale, like, justice, which is funny. And I'll say when she's 11, and her quirk has caused her to mature a lot faster too. And because when she eats the soul of a man, her body does grow more into its prime womanhood. And yeah, the next quirk she gains, she like asked her dad a quirk that helps like do super strength in a sense. And what he did is he created a new quirk by combining 3 different power boosting ones that stem from emotions. Like, one is a rage boost, one is like limit remover, where you can use 100% of your physical force in your body, like without your muscles and like there'll be the drawback of muscle soreness, but her regeneration cancels it out. And then the other one is the other strength quirk that he added was enhanced muscle memory. And what this does is, it's kind of like how Taskmaster can see things and copy it, but for her is she sees it, she does it once, and it's completely mastered to pro level. Like those who have to spend years training their body, no, she can spar with them and pretty much acclimate to that level. So yeah. That is her 3rd quirk. Her 4th quirk that she gained from her father is known as sheer. No, not sheer. Ow, bit my tongue. Killer Frost. Because why not? And because she already has the white skin. So in a sense, when around her it gets so cold, like you start seeing your breath, and then it looks like there's snow, but it's the air molecules freezing, and then she has total like cryokinesis with it. So she has total manipulation of cold, ice, snow, slushy water, shit like that. Anything that's lower than 32 degrees that could be considered frozen, she has total control and command over it. Even like liquid metals and shit, she can just freeze it. And she does like freeze men when she's eating them in a sense, so they don't move. And like, I'm gonna pause it because my phone's gonna die right now. I then put my phone to charge for a minute, and now it's good, I guess, for just to finish up this video real quick. Yeah, where was I? The mixing of the strength quirks, I think. Yeah, no. So he just combined the 3 powers into one super one. And what should I call it? Since it's a new quirk that is nothing but magnification, I'll say since the rage is still like the main thing, the quirk's name is called Ikari. And so yeah, and this causes her eyes to glow. Instead of yellow, it's red. So yeah, just to keep the whole villain thing more fun. And I'll say she's 16 when she goes to meet Mitsuki again. And like, she's already gotten a great handle on all of her new abilities. And when she goes meet Mitsuki, she's in an outfit like this. If y'all know, this is like a fan art of Hinata, and I'm like, you know what, this works. She's wearing like a skimpy-ish dress, like how she has it, and except the chest is
open, like how Lust is. And one of the quirks I'm thinking of giving her is just going to be called Spear Fingers, which will be Lust's ability of like how each finger could turn into a spear that can't be broken. So yeah, just because like the whole Lust being Lust and Deku's in a sense kind of like that now. So yeah, let's see what else. Uh, so when she goes to, I'll say that was her, what would it be, fifth quirk that she got? Yeah, her fifth quirk. And then the one after that. And this one was one that kinda was another version of succubus slash brainwashing. Because they copied it, mixed it with brainwashing and suggestion. And what was the other one? Passion. And passion is like the more emotion someone feels for you, the more loyal they become to you. And this new quirk is called Love Drive, which I'm naming it after Daddy Eddie. No, not Daddy Eddie. DJ? DJ? The one of the characters from Seven Deadly Sins, the girl whose power was Love Drive. Anyone like the more affection she showed to someone, the more they become her enslaved, like manservant. But it works with men and women because it just does, and it augmented her succubus ability too. So yeah. So when she goes to meet Mitsuki, she looks like her regular self, and she was shook when she saw um, Izuna, and well, yeah, she's just like, "Oh my, you've grown!" And what Izuna does is she grabs her breasts, squeezes them, and says, "I know, huh?" Mitsuki blushes and saying, I I didn't mean that, Izuna." And before she could finish, she's already on top of Mitsuki. Like she jumped on her, like locking lips, fondling Mitsuki, and then locks the door behind them. And yeah, no, Mitsuki, she not really fighting Izuna. Like it's been a minute since she's gotten action, and like she does feel conflicted because this is like she's not related to her, but it was kind of like a daughter to her, like a niece too. But no, and the main reason why Izuna is after Mitsuki right now is because she's just like, well, she was so fucking hot, and I couldn't even stop thinking about her because she always want like, when she was two, she always thought Mitsuki was pretty, and now like her whole succubus thing is just like, yeah, I kind of want to fuck her now. So that's what she's doing. She goes, gets Mitsuki, and like she's heavily like making Mitsuki's decision not to do this very difficult because after she like let go of Mitsuki's mouth, she starts going on her neck, and she just ripped Mitsuki's like dress shirt on. And I'll say like because Mitsuki wasn't really like expecting any visitors. It was just like her in a bathrobe with like a tank and some shorts. So when she rips it, her melons are just free everywhere, and Izuna's just like, oh, it's been forever. I've always wanted to do this, and then boom, just starts sucking on her titties, licking, sucking, pinching, everything. Mitsuki's just like, he's gonna stop, please. This is so wrong. And then before Mitsuki could say another word, Izuna's just like, yeah, but I don't care. I'm gonna make you enjoy this as much as I'm going to enjoy this. Auntie Mitsuki. She says that Mitsuki's just like, oh my god, no, don't. And boom, another kiss. And this time she used Love Drive like a motherfucker, maxing it out. And yeah, as soon as she pulls away from Mitsuki, her eyes are glowing pink. And there's like a very, like, and Mitsuki's tongue is out, panting, and like there's some saliva just dripping off. And then Izuna she removes her dress, the this purple one. She unzips it, and Mitsuki's just like, "Oh my god, you're 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 just as beautiful as your mother." And then Izuna's just like, "Oh no, I'm even better, and I'll make sure you know that." And yeah, they doing it like hardcore. And Mitsuki even says, "This is so wrong, but I can't help it." And yeah, Izuna's just like, "Oh, I know. It's been forever, Auntie Mitsuki. I've missed you." And yeah, um, this goes on for like a whole ass, like a damn near a whole ass day of just Izuna just fucking Mitsuki, and Mitsuki just kind of just being her new sub, and she's just going to refer to Izuna as Lady Izuna from now on because yeah, Love Drive is really really OP, and the more she shows affection to the person, the stronger the loyalty and devotion is. And yeah, it's after a certain point of her doing something, it becomes a permanent hypnosis and it's unbreakable. But it takes a lot to even break the hypnosis in the first place because unless you're the original true love, it ain't working. Like at all. So yeah, no, so that's why she really wanted her dad to make a quirk like this because she's like, yeah, no, I want everyone and everyone. So all of one's just like, oh god, my daughter's a whore. Alright then. Just not even like disagreeing. He's just like, okay, here you go. And yeah. And Mitsuki, um, she's joining the League of Villains after this, dudes. I'm not even fronting for you. She just works at the bar, like with Korogiri. And every Sunday she is used for Izuna's pleasure. And whatever that may be. Yeah. So Izuna definitely eats out Mitsuki way, way better than any guy could. And Mitsuki even says, not Mitsuki, Izuna says, like, tells her this, like, there's no way any man could ever make you feel as good as I will. And Mitsuki agrees to this, so that ends that segment. And so yeah, Izuna just takes Mitsuki, they sell the house and everything, and yeah. Mm, yeah, they copy her glycerin quirk, which is just something that they could use to fuse in with other quirks later. So yeah, and Mitsuki's just like not even aware of what's happening, honestly. The only thing she really cares about is just making sure she gets pleasured by Izuna and pleasures Izuna. So that's her thing. Yeah, I ain't even low key conflicted by that, but still, it's not for me. Let's continue. So yeah, who else? Like everyone, like the canon of the story still hasn't started technically because it's too early for the sludge villain still. And when the sludge villain incident happens, it does attack. Let me just cover that real quick. So the sludge villain does try and attack Izuna, but when she like touches him, she just freezes him instantly and shatters him, and just leaves. And so All Might doesn't show like it was an instant death for her, and she just kept on walking away. So All Might pops up, sees nothing, and he's just like, well, no, he sees the shards of like frozen sludge man, and he realizes, yo, somebody killed this person because it was completely shattered. Like the guy was instantly death. So yeah. So let's see what else. Um, fuck it. I'm gonna say, who else do I want her to meet? She meets Shinzo, like at a cafe, and Shinzo was easily staring at Izuna, and Izuna's just like, alright then. She goes up to him, instantly kisses him with love drive, pulls away, and tells Shinzo to follow her, and Shinzo's just, yeah, sure, anything you want. And Shinzo goes to meet All for One, and he gets his quirk copied. Not taken, but copied. And she pretty much saying, I want you to apply for the hero course and go into general studies for me. And Shinzo says yes. He is one of the many rats that they're letting into UA for her purpose, in a sense. And the incident with Gigantomachia never happens. Instead, it's Mina being robbed by a thug, and Izuna just stabs him with her spear hands. Removes, like they turn the corner, they just hear slashing and screaming, and then Izuna just walks out with not Momo, but Mina's purse. And then she sees, is this yours? And Mina, terrified, she says yes. And Izuna's just like, you're very pretty. Not Momo. I'm about to fight that. Mina blushes and saying, thanks, you are. And before she can even finish, Izuna's already feeling her up and making out with her. Like, yeah. And she is using Love Drive. And in case you're wondering, yeah, she is really abusing the whole Love Drive and Mind Slave thing because she wants to. So she sees no reason why not to. And yeah, so in this one, Mina's the traitor of 1A because, yeah, Love Drive's a bitch. So have fun with that. And here's the thing. When Izuna pulls away from Mina, Mina's begging her not to leave her and to, like, do things with her. And then Izuna's just like, oh, I plan to. And, like, she calls Kurogiri and asks for a warp gate at the location. And, yeah, they're at the bar. Mitsuki sees Mina. And then Mitsuki straight up says, can I watch? Mina's just like, oh my, wait, what? Like, kind of taken back by this. And Izuna realizes, oh, I'm losing her. Pulls her in, kisses her, strengthening the love drive. And she uses her spear hands to just shred Mina's clothes at this hand. Just into where she's in her underwear, in a sense. And it's just, I'm going to just say they were white. And the bottom is now, like, transparent, in a sense. Kurigi was just like, we have a back room for this, Izuna. And then Izuna's just like, okay, you can go there. And Kurigi was just like, okay. And Mitsuki's just, like, drooling right now. And what Izuna says, Mitsuki, warm her up for me. And Mitsuki's just gladly doing this. And Mina's just like, wait, I've never. And Izuna just, like, puts her finger on Mina's lip and saying, I'm more than experienced, and I'll gladly teach you every single thing. There is no way a man will ever make you feel like I can. I feel weird saying this, guys. I ain't even fuck with y'all. I'll break a character right now, so this feels weird for me to, like, say this, and it's really fucking weird. Like, fuck. But I'm gonna continue, because this is a thank you for the subscriber count, and it gotta be done. It gotta be done. Whether I want to or not. It's not my choice. This is probably my favorite female Deku photo ever. But also because I was a fan of Hunter x Hunter, and I like the Phantom Troop with the spiders, so not even lying with that one. So yeah, I think that's why. I'll continue. I guess I'll go into more detail. So Mina, she pretty much uses acid to melt Mitsuki's clothes and uses her ability to turn it into somewhat of an aphrodisiac. So she's rubbing Mitsuki, and the entire time, Izuna's just playing with herself in front of both of them, saying, play, like, just continue, like, do this for your queen, and they're not arguing anymore. So Mitsuki and Mina are heavily, like, tongue deep in each other's holes, 69ing, and Izuna's just like, yes, keep going, this is so much fun to watch. And Izuna then, like, she's just like, okay, I want to taste both of y'all right now. And so they all start just making out with Izuna in a three-way tongue kiss. And Mina gets, like, fucked really hard. DP'd because both not Mina, but Mitsuki and Izuna bring out their straps. And I feel weird saying this. Um, Mitsuki's was a dog shaped one, and Izuna's was a horse shaped one. And Mina's just like, whoa. To which um, Izuna's just like, oh, yeah. If you do good, I'll let you wear one, and you can do it to me. And Mina's just like, I promise, I will make you, like, I will take everything. So she does, and she gets tag teamed, and fuck. Mitsuki then also wants to be tag teamed. I hated saying it, fuck, but I had to. So Mitsuki wants to be tag teamed as well in the same way, and so that happens. And in this one, like, she just takes off the dog one and gives it to Mina, and Mina's just like, it feels strange, but she can't help herself. Like, she's technically lost in Love Drive's ecstasy feeling, so yeah. And that continued for, like, I want to say until like 3 a.m. And what had happened is that Kurogiri just took Mina's phone saying she was hanging out with some friends and she'll be home late. Parents say, okay, be safe, love you, that's it. And yeah, so they're not really knowing what Mina's doing, but yeah. Towards the end, like when both Mina and Mitsuki are like barely able to move, Izuna's just saying, I want you two to lick my holes. One in the front, one in the back. Make sure your tongue's going deep and make sure you two share the flavor of each one. And that happens for like 10 minutes until Izuna kind of like just squirts on them and they're lapping and drinking it, like licking the floors and licking each other to make sure they get the flavor. And like they start swapping it, and then Izuna like pulls out a chalice and says, "Spit it out so I can drink it." And they do, and it's not enough to fill it. And she's saying, "Aw." So what she then does is tell Mina and Mitsuki to like let her enjoy them a little bit more, to harness their flavors, their quote unquote love juices. This feels awkward for me to say. I'm not lying. Fuck. Um. So yeah. Mina and Mitsuki, they had their fun with Izuna, and Mina's just like, anything you say, I will do. And she's just saying, good, go to UA, go into one of their hero classes, and for every information you share about the students, Mina's just like eyes wide open, waiting to hear what the prize is gonna be. And Izuna squats down, puts her tongue down Mina's throat, and like leaves it there for like a minute, just making out with Mina. And then when she pulls away, it's like their tongues are out, hella saliva and drool. And then Izuna saying, I will reward you way better than what I did today. And Mina's just like, yes. I'll text the homie later. Um, Yeah. So that happened. Fuck. That feels weird, man. I don't know what else. How else do I go with this? Like, she's still not fucked a guy, but yeah, so she fucks women, not guys. But like, she she on a different wavelength, you know? Um, she does like ensnaring guys for her traps and the whole copying quirks for her dad to be able to like, because her dad can't really take quirks now. It's just his body can't handle it, so it's just okay. I shall copy it, and Dr. Ujiko, make sure you keep the sample. And yeah, um, that's how that happens. And so yeah, Mina go home, and she a spy now for Izuna and the League of Villains. And Mitsuki is still working at the bar, being the free slave in a sense. And Izuna lets, whenever a guy is like really really into Izuna, she just uses Mitsuki to like fuck them, and she watches and just plays with herself in front of them. And that's how that goes. So Mitsuki is pretty much like she the pounding mule for any guy that wants Izuna, and she okay with it. Honestly, Mitsuki's just lost in internal lock of ecstasy, and she no longer even remembers like her former husband, and so that's how that goes. Like she almost completely forgot her whole past life because love drive. And yeah, what else can I do? I mean, I know, but like, fuck. All right then. I'm going into it. Fuck it. She meets Toga. Like Izuna meets Toga killing somebody, and Toga was like, "Okay, I have to kill you next for watching." And then Izuna's just like, "I have a gift for you," and Toga's just like, "I'll cut you after this," and saying, "Oh no, trust me, you're gonna love what I give you." And Toga's just like, "I love blood, nothing," and boom, Izuna's just like mouth on Toga's, and she bites Toga's lip, and Toga's just like, "Okay." And yeah, she's using Love Drive right now, and she calls Kurogiri and says, "I need a portal at this address." Kurogiri does, and Toga comes in, and Toga's still kind of like bounded by Love Drive right now. And I'll say Mitsuki was just like, there were people there, so her and Kurogiri are just giving them drinks, and Izuna's just saying, "I'll be in my quarters with my new friend. Do not disturb." And she looks at Mitsuki and says, fuck, what does she do? No, she doesn't say anything. She just motions with one finger for Mitsuki to come here. Mitsuki does, and yeah, what Izuna does is just pretty much open Mitsuki's blouse, and she tells Toga to, you know, suck on one, like on whichever titty she prefers. And Toga's just like, I don't really have a preference. So yeah, no. And like there are guys there watching what's going on, and it's kind of one of the main things why they go, because they're aware that this things happens a lot there, and yeah, what they don't know, it's like they volunteer to be like into the League of Villains, and if their quirks are like useless, Izuna just eats them and gets even stronger because her succubus ability. Yeah. Um. So yeah, Toga goes on the left titty and Izuna's on the right titty, and they're both just drinking. Fuck, that's horrible. Yeah, they just yeah, they're making Mitsuki feel great for like 30 seconds, and then that's when Izuna says, "Okay, enough. It's time for you and me to have our one-on-one fun." And Toga squeals at this, saying she's excited, and Mitsuki's panting because yeah, and so yeah, that's what happens. And Izuna's just saying, "Yeah, don't cover those up. When I'm done with her, you come into my quarters, because I want to spend time with you, Auntie Mitsuki." And she does call whenever she says Auntie Mitsuki, it's because she's horny for her. So that happens still. And Mitsuki's just like, yes, yes, Lady Izuna. And uh, fuck the Toga scene. Um, Toga explains what her quirk is. Like after all that, Izuna's just like, oh, then I'm going to give you a reward right now. And she pulls out the dog strap, and she pretty much just fucks the living brains out of Toga. And Love Drive pretty much suppresses Toga's blood hunger to the point where she'll only drink the blood. The only blood she wants to drink is Izuna's, but because Izuna is so good to her, she can't bring herself to ever hurt her. And so yeah, that's how that goes. And she like gives it to Toga for like 3 hours straight. Like, and Toga's just mind numb at the end of it. And yeah, that happened. And before Toga like Toga's gone now, and Mitsuki she walks in and like still wearing the outfit and her chest exposed despite it being 3 hours, and yeah, so Izuna removes the dog strap, pulls out the horse one, lifts up her dress and spreads her legs and tells Mitsuki to come eat her, and then go fuck her, and then fuck her brains out with the horse strap, because Mitsuki is the only other person who wears it, and it's mostly when Izuna wants it. So yeah, so Mitsuki eats out Izuna for like 10 minutes, licking, sucking, fingering both holes because yeah, and Izuna constantly is just like coming on Mitsuki's tongue, and Mitsuki's literally lapping that shit up, and um, she drools, she lets Izuna's come and her drool off her tongue into Izuna's mouth every single time because Izuna, yeah, the succubus part is just really fucking overwhelming, honestly. So yeah, and when Mitsuki puts on the horse strap, it's just a whole new personality for Izuna because she becomes submissive and starts begging to be roughly, and so she does. And Mitsuki is just thrilled to be able to pleasure Izuna in a way only she's able to, because no one else wears that but her and Mitsuki, honestly. And yeah, so that happens. And what's the best way I can do this? For 2 hours, Mitsuki is just thrusting into Izuna. And when Izuna makes out with Mitsuki, like as she comes for like God knows how many times, Mitsuki's just like, I'm glad I could be service to you, Mistress, Lady Izuna. And Izuna's just like, I love you, Aunt Mitsuki. Gives her a kiss and then tells her to bring her a new set of clothes. She's gonna go shower. And that's how that goes. And I'm gonna stop it here because it's an hour and I feel filthy speaking about this. Nah, I don't. It's just, it's kind of weird. And I do want some feedback for y'all. Who do y'all want her to like get with? Um, she is going to seduce a lot of female pro heroes too. So that's going to be a thing. And yeah. And when it's the USJ attack, she's attacking. So, that's how that's going to go down. This is the Vibe Kage signing out. Enjoy. Thanks for the subscriptions, guys. I appreciate it. Um, yeah.